Hi, Krista Ann Faith, God's daughter here. Pseudonym for an author of Portrait of a Harlot Saint, a series about life, about being a woman, being a mortal upon the earth at this time in the end of the 20th century, into the 21st century. I want to tell you a little bit about my mission, about what I have chosen for my niche and why. And I have to tell you that there was an incident that happened that changed my thinking, that shifted my gears from thinking that my message can wait. I'm just going to record it silently and it can wait until the millennium, or it didn't need to be said for another 200 years. If that's the way it worked out, that was okay. I'd record it and be done with it. But I can't do that anymore, not in good conscience. And that was the incident in Connecticut where those many children were shot. I simply must stand up and be a voice today and take whatever comes my way in doing that. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I do not speak in behalf of them. We do have a living prophet and president of the church, as well as apostles and those who guide and lead the church today, and they speak for the church. I speak only as a member who has studied and sought for my own witness and testimony of the gospel of Jesus Christ, and for my own personal testimony of the Holy Ghost and his companionship. And I'll tell you, there's no sweeter companion than the Holy Ghost. I'm going to sneeze. Phew. Golly, I'm real. I really am. About as real as you can get. And that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about being real. I want to talk about accepting what is reality in the world. I've decided what I want to talk about is not conversion. Yes, I'm a member of the church. Yes, I believe in Jesus Christ. Yes, he is my Redeemer, and he will be in every conversation that I have if I can do anything about it. However, I'm not after conversion anymore. I'm not after it's not my responsibility if somebody accepts Jesus Christ. That's between them and him. I can teach of his principles, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to teach of his principles, and what I'm going to teach about his principles are the way to freedom, because I believe in all the philosophies and all the cultures that I've studied, all the things that I've witnessed through life, all the various homes that I've been in and seen and witnessed. He is the only one that has the true principles of freedom. He is the only one that has all of it. There are plenty of people that have different components, and there are religions, philosophies, all kinds of things that have all kinds of portion of what freedom is about. But I truly believe that Jesus Christ is the master, the absolute master, when it comes to freedom. And what that is, and that freedom is an individual thing. And also that freedom is something that let's see. One cannot be free if all are not free. You cannot say, I am free and self-contained, and then sit back on your laurels and say, I'm so glad I'm free. I don't care if you're a nation, a community, or an individual. You can't do that. Freedom is something that must be experienced and then protected and sought for. And I'll say that, sought for. I'd like to see sought for instead of fought for. I'd like to see sought for. Because that's what we need to do. We need to reach for freedom for all ages, all races, all genders, all everything, all capacities, all economic differentials. Let's start with where we are today. I believe in the world that there is nowhere in the world that is free today. I believe that genocide abounds everywhere. I believe that the war that started between good and evil is still raging. We taught that in the church, that the war between good and evil started in the pre-existence. But it does rage here. And if you don't feel it and feel the impact of war around you, then I suggest that you have been blinded or deluded or distracted or drugged. Because it's real and it's happening to you and your neighbor, your children, your grandparents. It's everywhere. Sodom and Gomorrah was an isolated place. Today, Sodom and Gomorrah is everywhere across the earth. Back in the Great World Wars, the concentration camps were isolated, and in particular places where they dehumanized people. That attitude and mentality is throughout the world today, including the Western Hemisphere. We do it in the name of prosperity. We do it in the name of progress. We do it in the name of everybody having everything, right? Taking from some to give to the others and all that kind of stuff. We dehumanize people. We take away their identity. We take away their dignity. We take away their connection to humanity. We have stripped an entire generation of their parents and their grandparents and their children, if not more than that. We need to raise our voices, each and every one of us. Those of us who are over 50 have a responsibility. In a couple other videos I said who I was. Let me tell you who I'm not. I'm not on antidepressants. I'm not addicted to television, movies, fashion, or any number of other things. I'm not seeking cruises and cultural retreats so that I can say, aren't I glad I've made it? I am in a war. Now, that's not to say, don't get me wrong, that's not to say that I do not enjoy an uplifting and inspiring piece of work, whatever it be, book, theater, anything. What I'm saying is that is not my lifestyle, that is not my God, that is not what I think about, that is not my culture, that is not my God. I've had friends and lost them because I didn't yield to those addictions and those behaviors. Nor am I a mistress, nor an adulteress, nor a fornicator. Though I've been all those things. And I've repented. And I still look for that righteous person to care for, to work alongside, serving God and my fellow man. We have an attitude when we as a people face challenging things in the world at large to want to pacify ourselves, want to reassure ourselves. Years ago it was with musicals, the happy happy. Today there's a lot of talk about happy happy and what it's about, where it comes from. The truth is, it comes only from one place, as do all other things. And that's from God, and from honoring Him. I will speak straightforward, and I will teach straightforward the principles of peace, the principles of freedom, peace in your heart, while all around you might be other things going on. I will speak of listening to the voices that lead you into positive directions and not into pits of depression, apathy, or addiction. I ask that all who have a voice and have any means whatsoever to speak, do so in the name of freedom and in the name of peace, regardless of what your philosophical understandings are. If you will study the principles of Jesus Christ, you will see the principles of freedom, the principles of truth, and the principles of hope. In my work, I hope to join or show the connections between Eastern religions and the Church of, the gospel of Jesus Christ. that the body is not to be shunned, but to be embraced and rejoiced in. And we can embrace its strengths and its weaknesses and give them all to God for His glory and not for ours. I need to close again, so I will do so. Till next time, I hope you'll think about how you can raise your voice, how you can reach out and say, freedom and peace for all. And I will not rest till we have that. Okay, thanks. Bye for now.